Hey guys, it is Slashback Saturday again, and the theme that Joe the Horror Man has set for this week is slasher films with escaped lunatics. So the film that I've chosen to review this week is named Nightmares. Now this is an Australian movie, and now this movie goes by another title, and there's also several films that have similar titles to both titles that this movie has. Okay, so first up we have Nightmares, which in America was released as Stage Fright, and not to be confused with the 1987 movie Stage Fright or the 2014 movie named Stage Fright. And there's another movie that came out in 1981 named Nightmare, which also goes by the title Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. All right, so now that's out of the way. Let me get into the plot for this movie. Essentially, it's about this little girl, and she's in the car with her mother and her mother's boyfriend, and they're starting to get frisky in the front seat, and she doesn't like this, so she tries to stop them, and it ends up causing a car accident that kills the mother. And because of this, she ends up being institutionalized. And then one night, an orderly goes to go into her room to put her back to bed because she should be sleeping. And whether not too sure if the movie isn't clear about this. I don't know if he tries to sexually assault her or if she misinterprets him trying to put her back in the bed as a sexual assault. So, anyways, this vase gets broken, and she uses it to slash the guy in the face, and then she escapes. And then the film cuts to 16 years later, and she's suddenly an adult. And it's very odd because there's a dream sequence in the middle of it that appears to be an escape, and she's running through the forest, and she keeps running into her father, and she keeps running into, I guess, an image of her mother making out with somebody or somebody making out. It's just really odd. Like, had they done the film proper, she should have escaped as an adult, and they could have maybe sleazed it up. I think they were afraid. I think the scene was supposed to be a sexual assault, but they were too scared because the girl was really young in it. But anyways, now that she's an adult, she's changed her name to Helen, and it's really odd because like if she changed her name, that means people must have been looking for her and she was hiding. So the big question is, who took care of her for those 16 years? Like, was she on the street or did someone take her in? They don't really get into that. So, anyways, another thing too is she's now an aspiring actress, and how they did it right, she should have been learning the trade of being an actress while she was institutionalized. They can have a scene where maybe a couple of doctors are talking. We're like, this girl is crazy as shit, but damn, can she act? Well, anyway, so she applies, she auditions for a role in a stage play, and she gets in. But it's very obvious from the beginning that she's crazy, which is a problem for this movie because the movie wants to be a whodunit, but they didn't structure it properly because you know damn well who the killer is. And like she's basically the only red herring. It's like you can't have a red herring when it's only one person. Um, the one thing I did like about this movie is the choice of weapon. Whenever she gets triggered, she smashes glass and she uses the shards of glass as a knife and she slashes the people. And a lot of the kills in this movie are done in the nude because it's usually when someone's getting busy, and that's the trigger for her because of what happened with her mom. You know, which is kind of odd. It's like you would think it'd be someone trying to get with her, as opposed to just anybody doing it. She's got to show up and kill him no matter what. And for some reason, a lot of people like having a lot of public sex in this movie, which doesn't help the matters in terms of being hunted and killed. Um, this film is very, very nutty. Another thing too about this film is it's shot like a giallo. Like a lot of the kills are done from the killer's perspective, which is kind of interesting, and it's really done well. It does have the giallo feel to it. It's just a shame that they didn't find a way to make it more of a whodunit. Because what they should have done is maybe had like three blonde actresses and make it be, well, it could be any of these three. We know the girl's blonde because she was at the beginning of the movie. We don't know which one it is. But unfortunately, because of the way it's shot, you know who the killer is. This movie I will recommend even despite its flaws because it's a fun watch. It's very sleazy. In fact, I was going to use this one in a few weeks ago in the sleazy slasher thing section theme, but this one I feel fits this one pretty good as well. All right, as always, I'll put a link to whatever movie Joe has picked to review this week. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you all later.